playing larger festivals like this one, as opposed to smaller club shows, do you guys have a preference with that?
I think it's all this. I mean, honestly, it's kind of all the same. If you're playing in front of 10 people in, when you're first starting out your career in Idaho or something, and then you're, a month later playing in front of 1,000 people to 2,000 people to 3,000 people, no matter what it's been in the steps of our career or what we play now, I think it's always been the idea of bringing the same show. Because, I grew up in a small town, and I got to see those bands that were tired and didn't want to dress up and didn't want to do anything, because I was in a small town that only had 50 kids. So I felt like ever since we started that, obviously we play to larger audiences now on our tours, but when we first started, I wanted to make sure that regardless of how big a pain it is to maybe put on paint and makeup and everything else, or how big a pain it might be to put it on in 108 degree heat today, I want to bring the same show every time, because I don't feel like a lot of people do that. And that's, that stems from Kiss. I mean, look at, they're 150 million years old and they're still putting on the suits and everything. And, they're, to their credit, they're, obviously huge heroes of mine, and they're trying to walk around and, they've obviously got something new coming, and that would be Black Veil Brides, because we can run around.
Yeah,
I can wear these heels
and run. So when you guys sit down to write, who brings what to the table?
I write all the lyrics and melody lines. My guitar player Jake on our last record wrote pretty much all the music and the drum parts and everything, and then we just kind of all put it together. But honestly, everybody in the band writes a little bit. We've all been musicians struggling in different bands for years and have a catalog of material like anybody. So when we came together to write this record, it was sort of an amalgam of all of those things.
So do you have a favorite track off the new off your album?
It's sort of like asking me to pick between my kids,
I know,
right?
I know.
I don't know. I could give you a generic. I mean, I think that
is there one that goes over better with the crowd? Maybe.
I think as long as it's a Black Veil Bride song, it's my favorite song. That's as long as it sounds to me like something that I wrote, then I'm happy with it. And that a whole record, honestly, to me, I'm proud of every single song.
So are you guys always working on new material, or are you?
Yeah, we've already we've been tracking new stuff. We want to have a record out as soon as possible. We're excited. We signed with Universal Republic Lava, and now being in a major label, things are going quicker, and we're very excited to get new material out. I feel like we owe it to our fans to continue to make new music. That's one of the reasons that some of the huge bands that still exist today were so successful, is they continue to make music. They didn't rest on the fact that they had a successful record. There's so many bands now that go into hiatus because they're scared that they had like a good record. Now they want to go grow a beard and sit by themselves for 2 years. We're hungry. We want to keep doing it.
That's good to hear. So,
I have a question for you. So how did you develop like your whole look and starting the band together and all that stuff? Because obviously it's very unique, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, the look itself is sort of just something that I always wanted. I looked up to bands, obviously, like I said before, Molly Crew, there's a huge amount of influence of that. But also stuff like, the Misfits and horror punk bands and all those kind of stuff. Just anything cool, really. I love Batman and...
I know, I saw the tattoos also.
I'm a big comic book nerd. I wanted to look like big scary superheroes. And that's why we all wear, we all have our own face paint that depicts a certain character. I feel like that was one of the things that I loved so much about Kiss, was that you could associate with certain members, and if you look at our audience, kids will dress up like the member that they associate the most with, and to me that's why we don't like to do interviews without our makeup, like I said, because to me it makes it's a character to them. It's something that, like myself, when I look in the mirror when I'm dressed in my stage makeup, I feel different. I feel like I'm ready to go into battle, even more so than I do when I'm just myself at my house.
So with your fan base, what has been one of your craziest fan experiences so far? Has anybody done anything really crazy to get your attention?
I don't know. I think that they're all unique in their own way. You go, obviously you have the different crazy things that go on, and there's people that people coming after your car and shaking. We've had we did signings where there have been hundreds of fans that have descended upon our our little car that's escorting us around town and shaking the back of it, or not letting us leave places and those kind of things. But for the most part, I mean, the way I see it is that the people that complain about having large fan experiences or having a big fan base are people that don't know what they want. If you become president and then you complain about wearing a tie, there's something wrong with you. If you become a rock star and you have fans and they want to do anything, throw a football at your face, it doesn't matter. They're trying to connect with you in some way. And so there's nothing that a fan can do short of killing me that would upset me.
Wow. So what are some of your goals for later this year into next year?
Like I said, just continuing to tour. We're going to go over to Europe and do a lot of dates over there. just continue to tour and see everybody in America and just get, have the Army grow bigger one day at a time.
Is there one area of the country that's crazier than others?
Obviously there's those key cities, like every band has their towns that, you go to, and for whatever reason, I think that one of the cities that's embraced us the most was actually the first city that this lineup of the band has ever played together in, was Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And our shows there are insane. Shows in Denver, there's always, and that's the cool thing, is that on this tour we're playing a lot of cities that we haven't played before, so it'll be nice to make, new favorite cities and new favorite places to play.
Definitely.
If I can leave the show wearing almost no clothes because they've ripped everything off, it's a good show. On the last tour we played 40 dates, I went through 36 t-shirts.
Wow.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So what is the best way to keep up to date with the band?
The basic ways. You got your MySpace, you got your Twitter, anything Black Veil Brides. Google Black Veil Brides. www.myspace.com/blackveilbrides, www.twitter.com/officialbbb. If you Google us, it'll be there.
Great. Well, is there anything that I haven't touched on or Matt hasn't touched on that you'd like to discuss?
I think that's it.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.